Hey guys, welcome to Joe Knows. Like I told you last time, I'm going to be starting just some talks about finances and helping you to learn to have fun with finances. Finances are fun when you know how to manage them. And there's a word the Bible uses called stewarding our finances, and stewardship means management, how we manage things. So we want to be good stewards. And before I get into some of the things, we're going to talk about budget a little bit. I'm actually going to release 2 videos this week. And this first one, I want to give you a biblical understanding of how important it is that we manage the things, the resources we have. So there's a parable in the Bible. It appears 2 times. Jesus was talking both times. It's in the book of Matthew and the book of Luke. And the idea is that a parable is an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. And this particular story starts with a man, a very wealthy man, who was leaving. He was leaving the area he was in, and he had 3 people that worked for him, and he left them with things. They're called talents. Talents was a form of money. So one of the servants received 10 talents. Another of the servants received 5 talents, and another received 1 talent. So they get different amounts of, and again, talents was a form of money. Each servant received different amounts of money. And the master said, I'm leaving for a long time and I'll come back. And I want you to give you something and I want you to use this. So when he returned, he went to the man he gave the 10 talents to, and he says, hey, I'm here now. I want to know how you did with what I gave you. And the man came and he said, well, you gave me 10 talents and I put them to work. You know, perhaps he doesn't tell us how, probably invested, did different things. And he says, here I was able to create another 10 talents. And so you gave me 10, I can give you back 20. And the master was really happy. He said, well done, good and faithful servant. Then he called the one that he gave 5 to, and the guy came back and he said, hey, you gave me 5, and here I have another 5. Here's 10, started with 5, I turned it into 10, here it goes. And the idea is that the master actually let them keep what he gave them and what they had earned. And there was one more servant, he was the one that he gave the 1 talent to. And he said, hey, come on. And he said, hey, here's your 1 talent. He said, well, tell me what you did. He said, well, I knew that you were a tough businessman, and that sometimes you're pretty demanding and you expect people to use the things that you give them wisely. So I was afraid. So I took the 1 talent you gave me and I buried it in the ground. And I waited, and when you came back, I unburied it, and here you have your 1 talent back. So in thinking that the person that gave him these resources was maybe, a hard man, difficult to please, and being afraid of him, it caused him to bury the things he was given instead of using them to make more out of it. Well, the master didn't have very kind words for the servant that he gave the 1 to, and he came down pretty hard, took the 1 away, gave it to the others, and he wasn't real happy with the way that person took what he gave him and didn't put it to use. Now, the term talent, again, I told you it means money, but it also, for us, when we hear talent, we talk about our abilities. Now, I want you to imagine this. As a human being, if you know the Lord Jesus Christ, then all of us as human beings are created in God's image. But if you know Jesus Christ, then you have a relationship with God. And he has given you talents, abilities, as well as resources. And we are to steward, to manage everything that has and will be given to us. And what God expects us to do with what we have is to take it and make good use out of it, create more, not only so we can give it away, but much of it we will be able to give away, but so that it can be used to honor the one who gave those things to us. So I want to begin this talk on finances. Finances is one of the things that God has given us to manage. And as we begin talking about that, I want you to know that really it's your whole life that God has given to you. And God expects me and he expects you to take our lives and use the gifts, the abilities, find out what we're made to do. Do those things. By the way, when we talk about finances, when you find your sweet spot, the thing you're made to do, you will be much more successful and probably earn lots more money. But the bottom line, it's not how much you make, it's being faithful with what you have, allowing it to be used, and then how you use what comes your way. And I want to focus on how you and I use the finances. Now, we live in America. We're wealthy, believe me. I travel. You don't know what it's like to live in other places where there's no opportunity. A lot comes our way. How are we going to use those things? Because someday the master will return and we, his servants, will be held accountable for how we use what he gave us. I want to help you to be a good steward of all that you have. And that's what we'll be covering. You're going to get another video. This will be the first one. You'll get another one this week. And I'm looking forward to us growing and being good stewards of all that we have.